Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Now, this whole thing about possibly betting on the Claressa Shields' upcoming fight. Let me just make this abundantly clear. There's no reason for me to believe that anybody close to the event is going to be betting. I understand the conversation. I understand things that have been said about certain individuals who like to gamble, right? But I think we got two separate issues here. Whether betting on boxing is legal, it often is, depends on where it's regulated, and then whether people involved in a fight are allowed to bet. This is more restricted and can become a serious integrity issue. Now, can a manager, promoter, trainer, or insider legally bet on their own fighter? This depends on the jurisdiction, sportsbook rules, and the person's role. Now, generally, many sportsbooks prohibit insiders from betting on events in which they have privileged information, and for logical reasons, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand why that would kind of look a little crazy. However, athletic commissions and sports governing bodies expect participants to avoid conflict of interest. If someone has inside information unavailable to the public and uses it for betting, regulators may investigate. And this is where we talk about people who may be close to the Claressa Shields event, potentially placing bets, how this can send up a red flag. If the betting activity influences the outcome of the fight, it can become a criminal matter involving fraud, conspiracy, or match fixing. This is what people had to be careful of, and that's why I don't think anyone would be stupid enough to think they can outsmart the goddamn system and come out here foolishly, be close to the goddamn fight and placing bets. But I want to make this very clear. Simply betting is not automatically illegal everywhere. But the closer someone is to the event, the greater the legal and ethical risk becomes. Now, betting on your fighter to win. Suppose a trainer, manager, or associate places a wager on their boxer to win. This still raises concerns because they may possess information such as injuries, weight cut problems, illness, contract disputes, knowledge of game plans, confidence in the fighter's condition. Regulators may ask, hey, yo, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. This individual putting this bet down, did they possess inside information? Was anyone else tipped off? Were betting markets manipulated? Even if nothing improper occurred, large inside wagers can attract scrutiny. Of course, makes sense. Now, this is where the shit becomes a red flag. If you bet on your fighter to lose, I've done videos on this shit years ago. It's still on my page. If you bet on your fighter to lose, that's going to send up a red flag. This is viewed much more seriously. If someone financially benefits from their own fighter losing, who wants their fighter to lose? Investigators naturally ask questions such as, was the fighter told to lose? Was effort intentionally reduced? Was there a financial arrangement? Was there fight fixing? This is why betting against someone you are directly involved with is considered one of the biggest integrity red flags in professional sports. Now, as far as sports books and what sports books monitors, sports books have sophisticated integrity systems. A lot of people are using them now. But those systems, man, kind of hard to pull some bullshit over. Things that may trigger reviews include unusually large wagers, sudden line movement, many accounts betting the same outcome, betting from people connected to fighters, and betting patterns inconsistent with normal market behavior. Now, when you say, what does that mean? We're talking about suspicious activity. And suspicious activity can be reported to gaming regulators, sports books, athletic commissions, sports integrity monitoring organizations. So what would be a major red flag? Let me give you an example. A trainer suddenly betting hundreds of thousands, red flag. Multiple associates betting identical amounts, red flags. Odds shifting dramatically shortly before the fight, red flag. Large wagers from newly created betting accounts and bets placed immediately after private information becomes known. Now, none of these prove wrongdoing by themselves, but they may prompt an investigation and make somebody say, hey, yo, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. It seems a bit irregular. Now, if somebody out here wants to take it to the stupid and try to get away with some bullshit like this, could they go to prison? Could they get in trouble? Or is it just like, hey, you're banned from betting again? Look, man, it depends on the investigator. If the investigator can prove crimes such as conspiracy, bribery, fraud, match fixing, wire fraud, money laundering, then yeah, criminal penalties, including imprisonment, are possible depending on the jurisdiction and the facts. It's all really about the jurisdiction, you know what I'm saying? Now, as far as public speculation versus evidence, as far as who may or may not have a gambling problem, and if there could be a wager put on Claressa Shields, right? There's no publicly verified evidence establishing that anybody has any gambling addictions or problems or have had any problems with gambling at all. You know what I'm saying? Or that there's been any wagers placed on Claressa Shields bouts. That's just speculation, but it makes for a damn good conversation because, the individual, Remy Ma did come out and say some things about, gambling being an issue. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, man, that a lot of shit was leaked and just talked about it, just put out there in the world, and now everybody's talking about it. And now here it is. I'm doing a video where there was so much talk about it on the live where I'm like, let me just do a video and kind of put some things in perspective. And that's why I said, when it comes to certain individuals, there ain't no evidence of any wrongdoing, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's important to distinguish between just, fan speculation, public rumors, and verified facts. And there's no evidence of any wrongdoing by anybody out there. And people have to be careful presenting speculation as fact. But I'll tell you what, it makes for a damn good conversation. Because when it comes to boxing, there ain't no damn ethics. That's why there's ethical concerns in boxing, and it's always been there. Even when no laws are broken, insiders betting on fights can damage public confidence. So it does look crazy if you have someone from a fighter's camp betting on them to win. Even if he's definitely betting on them to lose, but if you're betting on them to win, it just looks bad. You know what I'm saying? That's like you who are responsible for hiring two people, and you're the hiring authority, and one of them just happens to be your child, and the other one, you don't know who that is. You know what I mean? You're going to hire your child, man. I mean, even if your child's resume and everything is far outshines that person, it just looks kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And it could damage the public's confidence. Like, hey, did you really give this person a fair shot? That's why when it comes to this kind of shit, it's like fans expect fair competition, unbiased judging, genuine outcomes, and transparency. Fans will flip their shit if they found out there was some kind of gambling going on for the Claressa Shields fight. You know what I mean? Even though most of us feel that whoever Claressa Shields fights, most of them, she's going to win. So if you find out that kind of stuff is going on, you're going to be like, oh, here it is. They've been fixing fights. Maybe these women could have been more competitive. So you just don't want to be nowhere near that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say it here, I'm going to say it loud and make sure people understand that when insiders appear to have financial interests beyond the purse itself, people naturally begin questioning whether the contest is being conducted fairly. Even if nothing improper actually occurred, it just looks bad. And that's why, I think any and everybody around that damn fight, I think they got enough sense not to come out here and do nothing stupid. Like, it's just, for what? You know what I mean? This shit ain't worth it. But anyway, now you know. If they're betting for Claressa to lose, red flag. Red flag. But the other things go the distance, and those are kind of fair. You bet the fight goes the distance, ends up, or goes, someone gets knocked out in a certain round. But you say it goes the distance, somebody wins by decision or whatever. I mean, that's pretty innocent. Anyway, never a dull day, right? Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.